This is Insta360 One RS. Insta360's brand new camera, just released last week, and there's a few things you have to do to this when you first get it out the box to really get the best video footage out of it. So we're going to go over some of the advanced features in this camera to help you get the best video footage and to help you use the camera in a more professional way. Tip number one is if you swipe from the right hand side in the middle of the screen, in between the Q and the plus, it brings up the custom settings. Now in here you can change things like the white balance, you can change the shutter speed, you can change the ISO, the color profile, and you can also turn horizon leveling on or off in this particular menu. There's a few things in this menu you can do to get the best video footage out of it. One is to change the settings for low light settings, and we're going to do a separate video on that particular subject, so if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe down below. Don't be a stranger, press the bell so you don't miss that future upload coming really soon. But in here I like to change the color profile from 1 to standard. I think that gives you the most natural looking footage. Vibrant is good for sort of action sports, that very action sport camera look, so it still looks good, but I just like the standard, and if you want to play around with it in post you can do. There's also a log setting in this camera, so if you want to shoot in a flat log profile you can do on the Insta360 One RS as well, and then you can color grade your footage fully in post-production. Keeping the ISO as low as possible is always essential in any kind of video as well. That helps you reduce the amount of noise that you have in your footage. So if you go above sort of 800, you are going to see some noise in your footage in any camera, not just in this one. So try and keep it below 800. That's the setting I'd recommend first of all. The shutter speed rule is something you have to try and follow if you want to get really crispy footage as well. Double the frame rate is the rule, so if you're shooting 24 frames per second, try and keep the shutter speed in 1/48 or 1/50 depending on which area in the world you are. It's not always possible to keep double the frame rate. You may need to have an ND filter on here, and we've got those coming soon as well. So like I said, make sure you stay tuned. We're going to cover all of these aspects in the coming weeks and months. Like I mentioned, you can change horizon leveling on and off. It's a really useful feature depending on what kind of look you're going for. In action sports, for instance, when you're on the mountain bike, you can keep that horizon level. In this menu is where you can change all of these settings, customize it to your heart's content, and try and play with the kind of frame rates, the ISO, the white balance to try and get the best footage in the particular situation you're in at the time. It may be in a low light situation, it might be in a bright situation, so depending on that you can really customize the settings in this menu. If you find those custom settings are something you use all of the time, it is possible to save them as a custom preset. On the top right hand corner you have a cube. You swipe right on that, brings up the custom presets for video, photo, time-lapse, all those different things, and you can save a particular setting in there. So if you shoot low light, for instance, a lot, and you want to keep the ISO down, and you want to keep the frame rate at 4K 24, you want to keep your shutter speed at 1/150, you can save that preset in here. And then when you press quick capture on the top, for when you've got the camera turned on, you press record, it starts capturing straight away. It will use those settings. So that is where you save custom settings on the top right hand corner for the settings you use most often. FlowState is an amazing thing. It's brilliant stabilization that is equal to GoPro's Hypersmooth, for example. You can turn it on and off though. You do that by pressing on the button in the middle there where it says the 4K what frame rate and everything you're shooting in. Press there, and at the top you'll see post, or you'll see flow state. If it says flow state, it's turned on. If it says post, then it's something you add in post-production if you want to when you put it into the app or the desktop studio. I'd recommend shooting without flow state on if you are shooting in a low light situation, for instance. Really will help with the picture quality. Also, if you've got flow state turned off, you could use something like this. This is the Hohem Pro Steady action camera gimbal. If you're using it without flow state, you could use something like this. Very cheap to pick up, about £90 in the UK, and you can use this to get really good stabilization, even with stabilization turned off on the camera. I'd recommend that especially for low light situations, or if you're using the 6K option on this 4K boost lens in widescreen, 6K on this Insta360 One RS. It really does look amazing, but if you're using that particular setting, I would recommend using a gimbal because the stabilization is reduced. There's a couple of more settings that I'd recommend whilst using this camera to really get the best out of it. The magnifying glass on the right hand side is something you can use for changing the focal length. You can even do that whilst shooting video as well. So while you're shooting a video, you can swipe across and you can zoom all the way into 50mm equivalent and then all the way back out to about 17mm equivalent. That's a really interesting and handy feature to have, especially you can do it whilst recording video. You don't have to be not recording, you don't have to turn it off and go into the settings, change it and start recording again. You can actually do it whilst recording video. Sometimes it looks better to punch in just a little bit to about 35mm and you'll get the better footage than if you're really wide in certain scenarios. Also, I would recommend turning on the grid on the screen. Now, the screen is quite small on the Insta360 One RS. That is a result of having a modular camera system. You unfortunately have got a bit of a smaller screen. I do find it easy to use. It's very responsive when pressing the menu and going around and changing different settings, so it's not really a problem for me. But you can turn on the grid on this particular camera, and that helps especially with photography, for framing your composition, and for video when you're trying to record something. You can make sure the horizon's particularly level, so it really does help when shooting. That's something I'll turn on straight away when I get the camera and it's turned on the grid. It really does help with composition and shooting video and photos. There are a few tips when you're using the Insta360 One RS. It's an amazing camera. There's lots of things you can do with this. I'm going to be covering a load more situations and use scenarios for this camera in the coming weeks and months. So like I said, please make sure you do subscribe down there. Press the bell so you don't miss any future uploads. So that's it for this video. I hope it helped you in some way. Even if you just use one of those settings on a regular basis, it will help you get the best out of this Insta360 One RS. I hope it helped. Let me know in the comments down below if you need to know anything else about this camera, and I'll try and make a video about it. Until next time though, I'll see you soon. Bye guys.